Preal, it's good to see you, my
Good to
friend.
see you, buddy.
Man, you and I have hit it off because you're over here at 22nd Street Landing now on the El Patron. We did a trip with you recently, and that was a lot of fun.
It was a great group of guys, and we had a nice calico bass bite along with some sheephead. It was pretty good, and it was fun to fish with you.
Yeah, absolutely.
Finally.
Absolutely. Hey, but that's not the reason why we are here. We are here because the CJ
Correct.
hit Santa Cruz Island.
Yes.
You are awakened at about 2:30 a.m. What was the date?
It was
June the 15th?
Right, correct.
June the 15th, 2:30 in the morning. All of a sudden, you are awakened in the wheelhouse of the CJ. I'll let you take it from there. What the hell happened?
Yeah. It was it was early in the morning.
You had a group of passengers?
Yeah,
you
group
going
of passengers.
sea bass fishing? Or?
Yeah, we're looking for bait grounds. We showed up to Scorpion first. Whatever we was seeing, the bait wasn't big enough, so I went into the bay. And we sit in the bay for some time looking for some squid, good sized squid, but the seals were on it. We usually don't leave that early in the morning, or do the overnights, but this happened to be one of the ones that we had. So we had a full crew, with two crew members on deck and two masters, obviously including myself. So it was it was early in the morning, and like I said, we usually not out there that early.
Yeah.
So we went into the bay, and in the bay we got there, and I remember staying there for about just nearly an hour, hoping the seals and the seals would go away, the bait would load up more, but it didn't. So around 150ish, I want to say that I looked, pulled anchor about 2, and then we got on our way we were going to go to head to Valdez, and anyhow. Head out Valdez, I took it out some, a few more miles, and handed off to I was already tired, so it was time. I had another master on the boat, handed over to the other captain, and
just for people, perhaps most guys in this business understand, but you can't do this 24 hours a day. You got to get some sleep, right?
Correct.
Yeah.
Yes, and so me being tired and all, I handed it over to the other captain, which he took it out. He took the boat out. I just, once we get to big grounds, where, regardless who I'm with, I'd wake up and make sure everything's good in order. A lot of times you get that squid to show up, you need help with crewing down there. So get that all said and done. I mean, fortunately we didn't make any bait. So, we continue on to from China Bay to Valdez, handed it over. I went to sleep for, I don't know how long. But yeah.
All right. So you set a course.
Right.
You figured out where you want to go.
Right. Correct. And when I took it out some, to make sure that everything was just as safe as it could be. From me handing it off and going and lay down.
Sure. And ocean conditions that night, was it windy, rough?
There was a little breeze, but it was nice.
Yeah.
It was nice. And then I just handed it over, went to sleep, and just woke up to hearing that we hit the island. We were on the rock multiple times.
So how do you awaken? Do you, from the concussion?
No, it was just
him yelling. Somebody yelling.
Somebody screaming that we hit the rocks. We're on the rocks multiple times. So I opened my eyes. I was sleeping on, and I wake up to hear this, and I'm like, what? Like, I mean, kind of discombobulated. I'm kind of still waking up.
I'm trying to figure out
where am I at still. I open my eyes up, and then I just heard that after, obviously I heard that first. So it woke me up, and then I felt the boat start scraping, and then we just hit the island. I mean, after we hit the island, obviously I flew into the bunk. Ricky Black, my regular crew member, was sleeping in another bunk. And as soon as
did you say you were jolted out of your bunk?
Yeah, forward.
Yeah.
Forward. I mean, because I was up, and then I turned, and when I felt like us scraping, I kind of turned, and then I pretty much face planted into the forward bunk. I mean, we hit it pretty hard.
Yeah.
I mean, we hit it pretty hard. So just jumping out, like, oh man.
Or passengers in a panic?
Well, no. You know what? That because everybody's downstairs. The way it is I got my wheelhouse, and then there's 2 crew bunks right behind it, and then down below we got our bunk room. We have 11 bunks downstairs.
Right.
We had another crew member on deck, but there was also a passenger on deck because he couldn't sleep. He couldn't go down to the bunks. He was having a hard time. As far as panic, I didn't hear any panic other than, when I knew we hit the island. Me and my other crew member like got up like, oh, and I just told him right from the gate, get everybody in life jackets. I removed the other captain, took it out of gear.
The boat was still in
Still
gear
in gear.
and still
It was still in gear.
running into the
Yeah,
island.
yeah, it was, it was still in gear.
Were you on the beach at the island, or did you hit a rock or
It
something?
was a rock. Later on, I didn't know what we hit.
Right.
But we definitely hit a rock because it scraped.
Yeah.
we could feel the boat just scraping before we hit.
What an awful freaking
yeah,
feeling that is
yeah.
to wake up to.
Yeah. It probably been worse if I was sleeping completely and we hit the island.
Yeah.
And honestly, I don't know how I would have reacted, to just waking up and that kind of chaos. At least I woke up and just kind of already had an idea because of what I heard was being said.
And what was that?
Yeah, just we hit the rocks. We're on the rocks. We hit the island.
And you heard that before you hit the island?
Yeah. That's what.
That's weird, right?
I was, believe me, that's why I was like, what? And then multiple times, and then feel the boat scraping. We felt the scraping. The scraping was just like, it was probably the worst thing. It was probably worse than hitting the island, because, like, we didn't hit yet. We just scraped, then hit. After that, like I said, chaos. The only chaos I think that was like that probably initiated was probably that first, like, get everyone in life jackets. I removed the other captain, took it out of gear, and I was just clueless where we're at. Clueless. I'd been completely clueless. So I'm just like, instead of looking the plotter, I'm looking out, like trying to look outside. And by that time, we were parallel to the island. Just like this. This is how my boat was, and it was literally 3 feet off.
Your boat is parallel.
Yeah, parallel to it. It was parallel to it. I was like, just that. I was just like, I didn't want the boat. I didn't know how we were, where we were at. If it was deep, the boat could have rolled over. So I just started. I backed forward, just to kind of pivot the boat so I can get it pointing at the island. That way, regardless if there's something left inside of me, at least, I have control of backing straight up rather than backing up and, hitting something else.
Yeah.
Or going forward and hitting something else because, like I said, I was clueless where we're at.
Yeah, right.
And then as soon as I got that, the boy, I pivoted out, had the boat pointing straight at the island. Then I started looking, at my plotter and my radar. And then, that's where I determined exactly where we're at. We're in Pelican Bay, right around the corner, which I'm very, very familiar of. So once I figured that out, there's a real high spot right there in that corner. So I backed the boat up. Once I knew we were at, I made the distress call to Coast Guard, let them know that we hit the island.
Put a mayday out?
Yeah, exactly.
So you got on Channel 16,
Yes,
put a mayday out.
Yeah, put a mayday out. I sent my crew to go look in all compartments, which they did. They told us we were taking water.
What you're trying to ascertain whether you're taking water on or not, right?
Right. Yeah, correct. I sent my crew to go look. I talked to Coast Guard. They're all like, make sure you have your bilge pump on and you have all compartments. You check all compartments. I'm like, it's already underway. It's already happening.
So vessels in the nearby vicinity are required by law to come in and assist also. Did anybody come in there?
Yes, we had the Seabiscuit, which we were fishing around earlier that day, and they did a great job. They pulled up on us, made sure our people were warm, had water, made sure we were safe. Following right after, the Ranger 85 pulled up, and that's the same thing, made sure we were okay.
They got there before Coast Guard arrived.
Yes, correct. But they did a great job. there was some sailboats in there as well that I'm obviously we've seen, pulling back and everything. They actually sent me some videos and pictures. Said they've seen everything. They've seen everything besides the collision. They said, man, we've seen you guys work. It was just, you guys did a great job.
Oh, that's great.
Yeah.
So you're in all of this chaos, and it's got to be terrifying in some ways. Although, as an experienced captain, you are able to suppress that. And the first thing in your head, it sounds like to me, is the safety of your people.
No, absolutely. No, that was, honestly, it was just, I've been unfortunate to be a part of something similar, but just in a different way. And I mean, I guess
What was that?
just kind of
what was this similar thing?
It was another wreck that I'm not supposed to talk about, but it's all been cleared. Everything is just, I mean, it was just, I can't explain it, but I just been through a lot in lifetime. And fortunately, I mean, when in situations as such, I've just been fortunate to, I don't know, just be able to handle it, just without panic.
Right.
I don't know, like I said, maybe just because a lifetime of what I've been through. But I don't know, just all said and done, I just did what I was best for my people, made sure they're okay. And then, further than that, I mean, we had the life jackets, had them sent out, to have my guys look in the compartments, let Coast Guard know, the coordinates, I think it followed right after. I'm sure they have the recording, but first thing was first. Then they wanted us, I don't know exactly what order it was, but they wanted to make sure we had our bilge pump, which we did, that we looked in the compartments, which my crew members were. And then I sent them our GPS coordinates. From there, I just once I settled up, we made sure, like told them, we're only taking water in our bow. We had a big hole above the water line. We would only take on water underway. That was it. So I was just kind of bumping it, like, just bumping it back and, just not back and forth, but bumping it in gear, out of gear, just kind of letting it glide. So I want to hit too fast and we're taking on too much water.
Right.
Because I didn't know exactly at that point how much water we were taking on, underway. So I figured out where we're at. I told Coast Guard, I gave them the coordinates, told them I'm near Pelican Bay and I have a plan. I'm going to go and anchor up in Pelican Bay. Turning in, I didn't know there was.
Are your passengers off the boat?
No, they were on the boat.
We're on the boat. We're still on the boat.
They were on the boat. They were in life jackets already.
Right. Are they standing out on deck or?
Yeah, we had them on the deck. So when I told my crew member Ricky Black to get them down, I just remember in the midst of everything, just hear them because because we were there. We were basically, Coast Guard taught us to be in that situation. Like, they prepared us. They were pretty much a little harder on me, but, at the end of the day, I mean, it kind of helped us.
Yeah.
It helped us,
to maintain
exactly,
your professionalism.
Yeah. And we practiced it so much with just me and Ricky Black alone. And I had Joe Tai Tai. They all did a great job. My regular crew members did an excellent job. But I remember just as I'm doing this, doing the coordinates too, and he's getting the lab jackets on, he's doing exactly like I said. Top left bunk, come on out. Top right bunk, come on out. And, then they initiated, life jackets. But other than that, everybody was set. We were underway to inside the bay. Everybody had life jackets on. They were all in the back of the boat. The only ones that were really moving around the boat were the crew members.
Checking the boat, making sure exactly. You're not taking on too much water.
Right. Unfortunately, we missed one compartment, and I can explain that later. So we got the anchor down. I guess when we hit the island, our generator hit. Our generator flew off the the bracket it sits on. It kind of slid off. How it was already built in the boat, so that slid off. Everything shut down.
So you have no lights.
Yeah, we have no lights. We're in the dark, and we should have we have our 12 volts. I have all that stuff working, and I had them on when I was driving, and to be honest with you, I don't know if they were working still, because just getting up in the midst of it, I'm not worried about my lights. I'm worried about the, passengers in the boat.
Sure,
First
sure.
things first is the boat. Like, got up, life jackets on. Now, the only way I can save my people is figure out how I can, try to keep my boat from, being destroyed more, or putting my people in a place to where if we do sink and my life raft doesn't deploy, that we can swim to the island. Because I mean, at the end of the day, if we get in the water and that don't deploy, we have our life jackets. I want to make sure we're close enough to land or where we can make it on land.
Yeah.
And just hearing about the story of the boat that burnt, unfortunately, Conception, and,
Right.
And I just I mean, I always thought
Was that going through your mind while you're out there?
you know
or-
what? The first, I would say the first time when I was in that situation, it kind of all played into the same thing. Like the same thing, I found out where I was at, and I wanted to put my people in close. So back then, when that happened, I got to anchor up in 3 fathoms, so 18 feet of water. Something happened, but it's the same situation where just no matter what we hit, like where I'm at. Because I mean, there's some parts of the island where I mean those drop offs are deep. They don't have a bay where you're gonna have to travel, X amount of miles to get to a bay. So I mean, once I figure out where, I mean, we were literally, 50 feet from around the corner.
Yeah,
From the
yeah.
bay, I was just like, oh, okay, we'll take it in. There's 2 sailboats were in there, so I mean, if it was me, I would have tucked back in further, but I couldn't because I didn't know the extent of the damage, other than the bow. I mean, something else could have happened, and I don't want to lose my steering or something happened. So I mean, I just did a turn, and I think I tried to put us down in 5 fathoms, and I think the boat came out even further, but
6 feet to a fathom, everybody.
yeah,
just
6
so
feet
you
of
know.
fathom.
Right.
Yeah, we ended up like in 58 feet of water, something like that.
Yeah.
And
What was the demeanor of the passengers throughout this ordeal? Were they calm?
they were calm.
Yeah, and that
Yeah.
comes from the top usually.
Yeah. No, it was. I mean, we could have panicked. My crew could have panicked. I mean, my passengers. I mean, when I came out to make sure they're all right. I mean, I was the last one off the boat, and I didn't want to get off my boat. I was like, I don't want to leave. Like, you guys just like, it was my home,
Yeah.
But yeah. So I mean,
You're
said it.
reliving the moment right now, and I can
Yeah.
see you're becoming emotional about it.
Yeah.
It was tough, man, huh?
Well, I haven't thought much about it, just because what it put me through. It was my home.
What do you mean by that?
I used to live on a boat, and it was a big fight just to keep it. So, I mean, but the main thing is my passengers were good, and other things like that. They can, I can earn them again, and
You said everybody's life, nobody lost their life.
no.
Yeah. We're not mentioning the second captain. Is that for legal reasons? His
Yeah, I
name?
mean, there's still.
I get that. I'm fine with that.
I mean, investigations going on, and I'll let Fish and Game and Coast Guard handle that.
Was he participating in, and if you can't answer this, I get that too, just tell me. Was he participating in checking the boat, helping the passengers, doing all of that stuff?
To be honest with you, I'd rather not speak about
Okay,
that.
don't then.
Just because,
There's an ongoing
yeah,
investigation.
and like I could say that Ricky Black and Joe Tai did an excellent job, excellent. And without them, being calm and collected as well as myself, that it could have went real bad, real fast.
Yeah.
So, those guys should be, we heard about drugs being involved and all this just to smear up our boat, just because, who knows? I mean, I
So
have
there were
understanding.
accusations. I heard.
Yeah,
them.
yeah,
There, all those guys
yeah.
were on drugs or whatever.
Yeah,
So
yeah,
did you
it's-
get drug tested?
Yeah, absolutely.
Immediately.
Yeah, we all got, the sheriffs were there when we got in, or they showed up. They had us all blow. I don't know about the other captain. I mean, but they said somebody else, one of the captains, got arrested, and that's not true. I mean, I looked at the other captains, his record. He wasn't arrested. So I mean, they came up to me to who's going to drug test, and I'm like, yeah, I was a master, I was a captain. I'm a drug test. Another captain has a drug test. You know, they're like, it's optional on your crew members. I'm like, my crew members did a great job. I'm like, if they messed up, they did anything, they started panicking, then, you know, I mean, but they shouldn't be punished. You know what I mean? And I had nothing to hide or nothing to fear for it. I'm like, they don't have to. I'm like, and the Coast Guard's like, that's fine. Like, you know, I mean, what they said about if we did it, they would have a problem issue with it. And I'm like, yeah, well, I mean, it's only right. I was behind the wheel. He was behind the wheel too.
Yeah.
I mean, for me to deny that, I mean, that'd be like, no, absolutely, yes, when, and from my understanding, we should, they were, you know, everybody was okay.
Okay.
You know what I mean? So, I mean,
I'm sure
yeah.
you would have heard about
Yeah,
it.
and
No.
I should have heard about it,
Yeah.
you know, but I didn't. You know, there was no drugs involved. There was somebody was saying that we didn't have a deck cannon on deck. I mean, I read reports like, what? We had a full deck, you know what I mean, a full crew. You know what I mean? It's just these stories were hurting us, you know, like, you know, and in all reality, we could have panicked, you know, and people could have got hurt. They could have got hurt, you know
Yeah.
what I mean? And, you know, when people hear the true story, but, you know, when it does come out, like, then they'll realize that, you know, the circumstance we were putting under, you know what I mean, that, you know, we did our best for our people.
Yeah.
And we didn't one time think about ourselves.
Yeah.
We didn't, you know what I mean? And I'm proud of my crew for that. You know what I mean? At the end of it, you know, going back to the story.
Yes, because you guys are anchored in 58 feet of water.
Right, anchored
So
up.
what happens now?
You know, we're sitting, and we're just waiting. We're waiting for, you know, somebody to show up, and I believe so. The biscuit didn't show up quite yet. They showed up because we were on the life raft when he did. So we're sitting, just waiting for just distress call. I mean, you know, what's happening, who's coming, you know, et cetera. And I had
Are they sending a cutter out your way,
yeah.
too?
They were like, hey, we're gonna have somebody coming. Fortunately for us, the coho, which is a fishing game vessel,
Yes.
was anchored up in Smugglers, and the biscuit, along with the Ranger, were on the same big grounds where we started at, you know, originally in Scorpion. So once we sent a distress call, Coast Guard, you know, did a full-on announcement. I believe I heard the Seabiscuit answer, said that they were close by and they were going to be underway. So, you know, I mean, just hang tight. Came back and forth. So I'm just staying in the wheelhouse looking at my electronics, just making sure, like, what happened, you know, kind of. Ricky Black and Joe Tai Tai were just keeping an eye on our passengers, and, you know, I come out to look, and you know, then we noticed the boat was kind of, the stern was low, the stern was down some.
Maybe an indication that
Yeah.
you get taken on water.
Right. Even though they looked in the compartments, that's when we figured out, you know, we believe they missed one, because we have two LASs pretty much. We have our LAS, and then we have another aft hatch that was, you know, when the CJ was, you know, built, you know, when they added the 5 feet, they added another hatch back there. So, you know, that's the one they looked in. They missed this one. Anyhow, all said and done, it was on tilt. So I'm like, hey, check the compartment. But then once they opened it, they're like, this is completely
Full.
This is full.
Yeah.
And at that point, I mean, I can't dive. I mean, we're completely black. There's no way I'm going to be able to go down there. And if you guys know my boat, if those that do know the boat know, under those conditions, there's no way I can plug a hole.
Yeah.
You know, my pump is not going to work fast enough. If it's that high, I had everything already on. So I just told them, close it up. I'm like, this is a abandoned ship, everybody. It's a abandoned ship.
Everybody under control?
Yeah, under control.
Okay. Yeah.
Not one time
That's
was
great.
there that I see anybody panic.
Yeah,
I mean,
that's great.
yeah, not one time. You know, I mean, at least my passengers, at least my crew, my regular crew, I didn't see it one bit. So after that, I ran back up, and I told them to just stay back because I'm going to deploy our life raft. And I tried to get it over, but I just needed load, so I had Ricky come and just lift it, backed up, pushed it through, pulled the painter line, and it deployed. And then from there on, we made sure from old to young, I mean, everybody that was elderly got on first to the youngest, if we got kids, but we didn't have any kids. But then,
Man, I'd be first in line on that one.
Yeah. Now
I get the senior discount, huh?
Exactly. Now we made sure everybody that was just, more capable of jumping over were going to be the last.
Yeah, right.
You know what I mean? So we got everybody off, and we just waited. And,
So you're in the life raft.
Yeah, in the life raft. I wasn't in it yet. I was just standing. I mean, I didn't want to leave my boat.
Yeah.
I mean, I really didn't. One of my crew members was on. One was off. We were just kind of, they were just keeping, watch. Somebody needs something. And at that time, like, the boat wasn't quite. It wasn't going down fast. This was just taking on water where, it was just taking it on slow. So, as we waited, then the biscuit finally, showed up and made sure people were warm.
They you offloaded onto the biscuit?
No. They just said, just hold on tight. If you guys need blankets, you need water, let us know. We'll take care of you guys. We got a Coast Guard cutter coming already, and just hold tight. They just basically, if something did happen, because everybody was in our life rafts already, in the life raft, and when they showed up, I mean, everybody was just sitting waiting. It was, like I said, no panic whatsoever. And after that, the only movement we got was, some of the guys were like, hey, can I get my rods? I spent a lot of money. I'm like,
Right.
You know what? I'll go get them. So I went, and everybody wanted them. I'm like, hey, I'm like, we could take the rods, we can't take the tackle boxes because it's gonna add too much weight to it.
Yeah.
So I'm like, since we're not going down fast, I felt it was safe, so I started grabbing them. I think Ricky started grabbing them, and we took all their gear off. Some had their tackle boxes already on, and I wasn't gonna tell them to take them off.
Yeah, right.
But others left them on. At least I would say 3/4 left their tackle boxes on, and Ranger pulled up after. They asked the same thing. Well, you guys all right? We're good. And then the coho showed up. From
Fish
the
and
fishing
Wildlife.
game.
Yeah.
Fish and Wildlife showed up. They showed up pretty fast too. For smugglers, they showed up. Matter of fact, I see the coho over here. Just parked. They
He's
showed
in
up.
here today?
Yeah, they've been parked right here down the dock since I've been working.
Oh,
with
shoot.
Yeah, so I wanted to go thank them when I've ever seen them. But no, they did a great job. They loaded their life raft, and they started taking passengers off 6 at a time from whoever's injured, which we had one passenger did get injured, but was able to physically get off the boat. And
What was the nature of that person's injuries?
Set his back, his neck, and he was the one that was sitting outside.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, he was the one that's sitting outside. So
Yeah.
I would imagine that he did get roughed up.
Yeah.
I know one of the passengers, when they got hit with the stairs. And I mean, it kind of hurt me. I mean, I feel.
You face planted, right?
Yeah. And I think I pinched nerve in my neck, but nothing that can physically, I mean, I can just feel it, But I know other people probably did because I mean, we hit pretty hard.
How many knots were you going? Do you guess when you made?
I got my plotter, so I know how fast we were going.
Oh, okay.
We were at 8.7.
8.7.
8.7.
That's pretty. I mean,
Yeah.
for a sport boat, that's
Yeah. I mean, my boat cruises. I mean, 8.6, 8 knots. So.
Oh, okay.
At 8.7, and I mean, it was pretty fast. It hit pretty fast. I mean, considering the speed of my boat, what it goes. So yeah, I mean.
Your boat is also kind of a difficult boat. I ran a commercial boat like you. No autopilot.
Right.
So there's one thing about that is that you can't fall asleep.
Right.
Because you
right.
start doing circles pretty
Right.
much.
No, absolutely. Yeah. That's my autopilot went out like 2 months ago, so yeah, we didn't have autopilot, so it was all hand steering.
Yeah.
All hand steering. And It was, yeah. You fall asleep, you go in circles.
Yeah.
You look at your phone like this, and then look up like, oh,
Yeah.
going in a circle.
Yeah.
I mean, it's that simple.
Right.
But yeah, it was.
So we got everybody on the fishing and wildlife boat,
Right.
the coho.
Yeah. You're right.
Yeah.
6 at a time. So from the coho, from the little life raft, Coast Guard actually showed up at that time, and so what they were having fish and game. Pick up 6 at a time, and then take them to their cutter, to their boat. So that's what they did until we were finally all off. At the end, there was probably like another 6 or 8 of us. They did another load, and when they come back, my boat started completely started going down. It finally hit the electrical in my engine room. We started smoking, and we were downwind. So we had to cut off because we were still tied. So
Cut off the life raft.
Cut off the life, yeah, because we were still attached with the
Yeah.
rope. We had it tied down.
Right.
So like he's like, cut it off. So we cut off just to get away downwind from that smoke because it started coming good. It didn't light up on fire, but it was enough electrical kind of disturbance in there to create a big smoke cloud, and we were just. I mean, we were all
What kind of sounds were you hearing when that was going on? Popping or
yeah, kind of like popping, like like probably like water, electrical hitting water, like, and then just a lot of smoke.
Yeah.
And you could see it, kind of a little bit, kind of like electrical hit it, like if it was gonna start a fire in there. So kind of like sparks.
Yeah.
So it kind of. We thought the boat was going to be on fire. We thought, well, the boat's on fire. So, cut off. So he cut us off. He took us a little further away.
How long after you hit the island is this now?
This is probably like 45 minutes, I want to say.
Okay, pitch dark.
Yeah. So when the biscuit rolled up, he put on his lights. So he lit us up. So we were lit up from the moment he showed up and he pretty much stayed there until everybody was taken off, from my understanding, because he let his lights on, and from us being escorted from the life raft alone to to fishing game vessel, and to Coast Guard, they stayed there from my understanding the whole time until everybody was safe.
Yeah.
Then they went on, they got on their way. So yeah, that's what I remember.
The human toll is something I want to talk about. So you mentioned you're living on the boat,
Right.
so you're homeless now,
Right.
and also you don't have a job anymore. You don't have an income, right?
Right.
And your crew guys don't have an income. What was that all like? How devastating and difficult was that for you?
I mean, it was. Nobody understands when you have responsibility to take care of somebody.
You have kids? Or?
Yeah, no, absolutely.
Uh-huh.
But my kids are my kids. But my crew, my crew have a family too. We
Right.
all had a family. I mean, I tried my best. We did the GoFundMe. The GoFundMe was, it was for the boat. It was for the business. I had a lot of deposits taken, and prior the way I said my boat, I had bankruptcy. I bought the boat in 2020 in COVID. I mean, I didn't get one penny for COVID relief, because they said when the time I bought the boat, it was you had to own the boat 6 months. I only had it 3 months when we hit us. They shut us down on March 13th. I ran 7 trips. I still had to pay. At that time, I still had to pay the boat payment, but I still had to pay insurance. I still had car payments, etc. I mean, just little by little, from there. So I finally figured out, I finally found bankruptcy. So in December, I filed bankruptcy, and got everything put in. Some people just didn't like it, got nasty over it, and I wasn't disputing with them, but they just, they just wanted their way, and tried to tell me, take the boat out, and if not, I mean, so I just, after that, all said and done, I mean, I'm not worried about them. I just showed them, I just showed them how good I was behind the boat and behind the wheel, and for my people, and I started another a system. My system was to get deposits. That was the only way I could do it, and I have a lot of following, a big following, so getting my deposits, so that part of deposits going back to boats to people, paying it all off as they come out, fish, what I mean, it was working. Unfortunately, once the boat wrecked, everything stopped because those boats, those trips that I still owed, were never gonna, what I mean, how could I run them?
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Everything was all going back into the boat, what I mean? That was the only way I could do it.
Yeah.
I mean, I didn't even pay myself. I mean, I was paying like, what I mean, the boat, my crew. I mean, I was probably more for my kids. I mean, we'd come in, I'd work. I mean, that's why I left Channel Islands and I went to Oaks Landing. And I mean, I would literally come in, I'd go pick my kids up, take them practice, whatever, or do whatever, come back, go to sleep, wake up, do it again. You know what I mean? It just was, I mean, I didn't live in the boat. I mean, but I slept on the boat. Technically I moved to Bakersfield, but there was times I was sleeping in my car. I mean, I had to get my car sent to Channel Islands just so I could sleep in it because they told me I couldn't sleep on my boat. I mean, that was one of the reasons I left over there. I mean, but it is what it is. I mean, if you love something, then you got to fight for it. If I didn't have my people, my passengers, it wouldn't even be worth sticking around. I mean, how could you keep a business without clientele? But I mean, my people spoke and they were like, "We want you."
Did a lot of those guys reach out to you and console you?
A lot of my regulars did, and they made it clear, like, don't give up, keep at it. You came this far, and they're friends. So, does it make it easier? I mean, it makes it easier, but it doesn't make it any easier.
Right.
Because it's still the same situation.
Right.
The GoFundMe, like all my main guys, like a lot of my main charter masters, they're friends or, they're the ones that did it. Other than that, I mean, I got very little response, probably because of negative, things that people were saying, drugs and this, and I was just, fighting with these other people, these other landings. I mean, I don't know, but I didn't keep one penny of it. It all went back into deposits. I gave a little bit that I could to my employees, but I didn't keep one dime. I mean, I've been giving my paycheck. I send money to some of these guys for deposits because insurance still don't want to cover me. I mean, it's just been
a nightmare.
It's been a nightmare.
Yeah. So the insurance, there's an issue with that covering you?
Yeah, because it's just there was a loophole in the policy said that I really honestly didn't know. Say that the master had to be on the policy as well. But I mean, I was on the I was, I mean, I was driving too. You know what I mean? I mean, what they want? You know what I mean? Me to drive the boats tired? No. I did what I had to do within Coast Guard regulations. You know what I mean? But it doesn't matter. That's what I'm fighting. Yeah, that's what I'm fighting. So I got to pay for the oil cleanup. I got to pay for the.
Jeez.
Yeah, that's like $250,000 for the boat being pulled out.
$250,000.
Yeah. I mean,
is that covered with the bankruptcy?
Well, so no, the bankruptcy is just I'm going to lose the bankruptcy. Right now, I'm fighting because they're trying to pull the boat out. They're just like people are putting they're contesting it now because I can pay. Like, what do you want me to do? I mean, I can't pay $2,600. I'm not even working. Even when I'm done working, I'm not even making that much a month.
Right.
You know what I mean? Like that's it. I've been fighting it. You know what I mean? It's just been, I've been trying to figure figure it out, trying to get this bank, this insurance, and they should insure me. The boat should be insured. I mean, and there's things that I know I should be insured. I mean, we did our job. We did we saved our people, and I don't want to use that as an excuse, but if we panicked, there could have clearly been casualties.
Sure.
Clearly, I mean, I could have let that boat roll up on that rock and people jumping off the boat to on land. They could have got smashed. Something could have happened. There could have been some major casualties, and and like I said, it's like we're being punished, and people can say, well, it's your fault, and that's basically what they're saying. It's your fault, You should have had this, you should have had that, But to put themselves in my situation, you think they'd be saying that? Absolutely not. Absolutely not.
When the boat sank, where were you? You were in the life raft?
I did. I was the last one off.
Can you describe, how did she go down? Did she go down like
She went, so it was stern first.
Yeah.
And it was just when I left, the boat was, there's a picture shown. It was probably like, halfway, from the midpoint was underwater, and the boat was it was sitting, and the last picture I got was the boat underwater. Somebody sent me.
Can you describe your feelings when that you saw that happening?
I didn't want to leave the boat.
Could you not believe your?
I didn't want to leave. I wanted to go down with it. Yeah. Yeah, I wanted to. I left my poles, and they're like, "What about your poles?" I'm like, "I'm donating my poles with my boat. Who cares about my poles?" No, it gets me mad. But like I said, the greatest part about it was my people were safe, my crew. It's good. I can earn all this again. I can figure it out, but if there was a life lost, can't get that back.
Can't get that back. No. So how are you doing now? How are you doing? This is continuing to haunt you, for lack of a better word. You have to
fishing is my stress reliever.
Yeah, right.
So being out on the boats right here.
Yeah, because when I fished with you on board the El Patron, I had no idea that this was. But for so many people,
I hide it well.
Yeah.
But like I said, this has always been my piece. So.
And it continues to be your piece.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I was gonna retire. I was just gonna give up. But
you're too young for that.
There's just too many people that I love to fish with, that love to fish with me, that I can't. I got a lot of people come over here just for that. They want to come run the boat. They want to ride the boat just because I'm over here. And,
yeah.
If not, I would have gave up.
It was the support you got from the people who loved to fish with you that kept you going. Is that right?
Yeah. It's the people that, not that you least expect, but that you least expect.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah. Made it, I can't leave. I gotta fight for it. So I finally got my renewal, my license is renewed.
Good. Congratulations.
Thank you, and
Was the boat salvaged?
The boat, it's still in the boat dock. It's still out in dry dock. I can't touch the boat. The other lawyer for my people that I guess are suing me, they told me they put an order, so I haven't touched my boat since then. Somebody had said there was people on my boat, and I don't know. I haven't called. If I can't go on my boat, what am I going to go do? Stare at it? There's nothing I can do. If I go on the boat, this guy says something, and it's a lawsuit coming on.
Yeah.
And so I just been abiding by what his. And I really told him he's going to be held responsible because he hasn't done his research on the boat. They haven't done their investigation. Because it's the truth. You told me I can't go on my boat. I was trying to pickle my engines, trying to save it. And the moment he told me that I couldn't go on it, because of the investigation, what he wants to do, I stood off it. He was supposed to do it, very, relatively short within that period. And it's months later. I still have to pay for the boat, being there. And he still hasn't been on the boat. So, I mean, they're taking their sweet time, but my pockets are the ones that are being killed. I mean, there's just, I don't know what to do. I mean, I try to get a lawyer. All these guys want money. I got money, no money to give them. I mean, I can do it in pro per. I mean, I know a lot about law, but, I got so much stuff going on. It's just like, I need to work and then take care of my kids. At the same time, I got to stay on this insurance. I got to stay on my other legal things I'm pushing forward on. And it's hard. Like I said, I was homeless since September. Staying in people's house, sleeping on my boat, sleeping in the car, and just like insult to injury, just like every month. Go to another place, win the hooks. We were doing great. Nobody wanted to work with us, and we showed everybody that we're the boat. That didn't. I mean, I didn't want to work like that. Try to help with everyone, but unfortunately, it was what it was. I mean, it showed everybody that I find fish by myself, and we were the boat that we've always been. You know what I mean? Since 2020, I bought the boat. I mean, the people, they chased me, and I chased what they wanted. They wanted big game. And I was fortunate to give it to them. But yeah, it's hard. It's hard. I mean, I had to push through it. I couldn't worry about myself. I mean, it was hard, but I mean, I got kids and they rely on me. Other people do, so yeah, it's tough, but step by step, day by day.
Are you seeing any light at the end of the tunnel, or are you still in the darkness of this whole ordeal?
It's I don't know. I'm like, I see light, and then it just gets shut off. It's law. How they go about their policies on this stuff is the toughest. I mean, the like I said, the GoFundMe. I've seen other boats do it. They get thousands, and I wasn't trying to do it for profit. I was doing it for my business, and I mean, to be honest with you, I mean, I appreciate it so much from those that did it. I mean, and I didn't want to disrespect nobody. Be like, oh, nobody did anything. Be ungrateful, and I was grateful for it. I mean, because it did help. To get back to some of these guys that were thought I was just trying to just take their money. At the end of the day, it was just like, now I'm paying for you from. I pay most of these guys from what I'm getting paid for. I'm trying to get another boat. I got other commitments, from other people. Like, I mean, I have big promoters too. I mean, there's just it seems like there's light, and then just I don't know. I really don't. I mean, I need a good lawyer, one that maybe I could pay later. But up until now, I mean, I just got too many things going on in this area, and too many roadblocks that are coming up, and like I said, I still got to work. I still got to make money. Thought I had a good lawyer, but he ended up being just a crook. You know what I mean? I mean, that's just the truth. Wasn't doing anything for me and just tried to tell me he did everything for me. He did nothing. Not anything. Made my situation worse. So, I mean, that's the one thing when you don't pay a lawyer money, I mean? They just, oh, well, yeah, I'm a lawyer, but, I'm doing it my time. And then I end up finding out he didn't do anything. So it's just, I mean, it's tough. It's tough. I mean,
So human to human, me to you. Do I need to be worried about you? Are you okay? I mean,
I'm good.
You're not thinking about anything.
No,
I
I'm
mean, 'cause there's
good.
just in this interview that we've done, this podcast, there's an immense amount of pressure on your shoulders. I can see it.
I mean, I've been under pressure my whole life. Fishing, that's why it don't bother me, but pressure, I work better under pressure. I just, I'd rather have results.
Yeah.
You know, when you have, you know, pressure, you know, you win or you lose. You know, but this is something that I have no control over. The other people have control over it. And, you know,
That's what frustrates
and that's
you.
what frustrates me. You know, because I know what's right from wrong. And they know what's right from wrong, many do. And they know they can speak up and make it right. But, you know what I mean? I can't force nobody. I can just wait and let the process be the process. You know, and it could be 2 years later, it can be a year later, you know, and I mean, and I can't wait that long. So, I mean, you see me on boats over here.
Yeah.
You see me wherever I got to work, whatever I got to do. I mean, the bankruptcy is probably going to go, I mean, I can't pay it. But if they pay them off, who knows? You know, there's just so much that's really not within my reach, you know, and I just, like, if I had a good lawyer, I think it'd be over. It wouldn't even be an issue. I mean, you know, what's the legal system here for? I mean, there's ways to do your bankruptcy. There's ways for this. You want me to pay something? My business just got destroyed. Like, here, my last dollar. I mean, that's what they want. They want my last dollar. Like, what do you want me to do?
I know, it's funny. You go to bankruptcy,
Yeah.
you're there because you're bankrupt.
Yeah. And then, you know, then they're like, don't worry, don't pay. You don't have to pay. Like, we're going to work on it. Next you know it, 3 months later, they're like, oh, you got to pay all this back at once. Like, what? Wait. You didn't tell me that. Why don't you, like, you understand, like, if I didn't have no money this month, I don't have no money this month. Now you're consolidating all in one time? Like, so I got to pay, like, that's not what you told me. If that was the case, then I would have went out and I would have even do whatever I was going through, I would have made it happen.
Yeah.
But now you want me to do this much? I'm like, that's not possible. I can't get a loan. I got bankruptcy. Can't get credit. Like, you just screwed me, dude. Like, come on, you should have did your job. That's it. You know what I mean? Should have told me, hey, you know what? We could stop. You don't have to pay right now, just like you told me. And but you're gonna have to do, you know, all the months you don't pay, you got to pay it all back at once. Like, oh yeah, sure. I mean, it's that easy, right? You know what I mean? No job, you should have told me. I would have. Man.
Anything else, Chauncey? I think you opening up your heart on this podcast, I think it was an emotional moment, and a lot of people have been asking me what happened on board the CJ that night, and now they know.
Yeah. I mean, it's I can only laugh, and it's not anything to laugh about. But I mean, maybe, you know, during my shoes, you're better off laughing than crying, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, but no, I'm just honestly, I'm glad my passengers and my crew are good. You know, like I said, everything else is material. I'll make it happen. But hopefully sooner or later. But if not, I'm gonna still keep fighting. I don't give up. And just scar tissue.
Yep.
And I appreciate you having me.
God bless you, my friend. Thank you for being here.
Absolutely.
I wish you the best of luck. And maybe somebody out there listening, maybe there's an attorney listening or somebody who'll lend you a hand. Who knows?
Yeah. Well, it'd be nice, but I just look forward to what I know I could do now. But you know, something good like that'd be great, but it is what it is.
Chauncey, thanks again.
Thank you, buddy.
Chauncey Preal,
Absolutely.
everybody.
All right, thank you.
Appreciate it, my friend.
Thank you.